I think advertisers really give a shit about which media owner owns which piece of real estate. What they're really interested in is how we collectively can provide the right environments and the right audiences, irrespective of who owns which piece of estate. And I think it's incumbent on us, media owners in particular, to make the most inspiring out-of-home possible and really bridge that creativity. Last year, I encouraged us all to shout loud and clear about out-of-home. This year, my plea is let's keep shouting together, but also let's start thinking a bit differently about what out-of-home now is and what out-of-home now does. Let's embrace digital as the new normal, as out-of-home 2.0, whilst not forgetting our classic networks. Let's keep innovating, let's keep investing in technology and really trying to test creative boundaries to produce stunning content. And let's keep working closely in close collaboration to really fly the flag for out-of-home and reaching the valuable audiences that so many other media really struggle to reach. So here's to creating the future of media out-of-home.
We like to think that we cut through the complexity of producing dynamic out-of-home by doing it efficiently, effectively, and competitively. Always concentrating on a high standard of account management. The reason that I'm presenting to you today is that I wanted to follow on from Neil Morris's presentation last year, but really introduce really innovative and award-winning campaigns. I wanted to take a lead from his presentation last year, looking at a historical look at those Watershed dynamic campaigns, bring it up to date, and to show some of the more integrated dynamic campaigns that are being produced at scale. And most importantly, with a high ROI.
Right, I've got 30 minutes, I've got 60 slides, so I'm not going to hang about. I was going to take some out, but they're all so exciting. Right, so it's BAFTA, so I thought I'd do a little bit of a movie theme to it. These are the 4 sections I'm going to do. All got N-words, so we've got now, the near, the next, and the neo. So this is what we're doing now. This is what's kind of close, but we're not really doing at the moment. Kind of availing other areas of the industry. Next is kind of the cool stuff. It's probably illegal, but yeah, we'll look at it. Nick's going to have a field day with me later when he does the legal stuff. And then neo, which is sort of the matrix. So it's, you know, red pill, blue pill, how far do you want to go down that rabbit hole?
So my name's Nick Graham. I've got half an hour to talk to you about privacy in an area where, having had a look through the programme this morning, pretty much everything we do in this sector is data-centric. Increasingly, it's all about the data. And some of it may look like personal data or personally identifiable information and therefore deserve protection. Some of this data doesn't. It just looks like machine data, metadata, and you would think it's off risk. So what I'm going to try and do is give you a sense of, first of all, what's happening in the market and some of what you will have heard about in the press to illustrate the point that this is what's driving privacy as an issue. And this is why when we're signing contracts, when we're doing deals, when we're designing new technology, we've got to think about the data issues because they become regulatory issues, legal risk issues.
When I started, I was completely naive to the intricacies and difficulties to create the technology, be a media owner, get approval with Transport for London, and actually the oversimplistic view on the world actually was pretty good and focusing on if I can make it happen, the value proposition is so strong that it's got to work. So it was that passion and blind kind of naivety to the challenge at hand that kept me going. But I guess we pivoted because actually when you start a business, you've almost got to run everything in parallel. You cannot say no to any strategy. Although that sounds like you're trying to do everything, you're actually trying to run multiple different strategies because inevitably one of them will hit a roadblock. So I wanted to be the media owner. No one was doing the technology. So I thought if we could marry this digital technology that could be updated wirelessly, changed by GPS to change each street with relevant targeted media content, then we would have the most powerful media format in the world.
And it struck me that TfL delivers day in, day out, millions and millions of possibly the most exciting audience there is anywhere. We're now in the position where, having gone through a fairly, well, an incredibly robust process over the last year and a bit, we're about to launch a partnership with Exterior, and again, no news there going forward, where the word partnership is actually meant. TfL have taken on the responsibility for the capital investment across our network for the life of this contract.
I thought it'd be worth just going back a bit to let you know, or remind those of you who do know, why Outsmart is here and why the Outdoor Media Centre isn't. What we have done, what we are doing, and a little bit about what we plan to do. And then I'll drop in on all the way through and then finish with a couple more observations and thoughts. So our mission statement, this is something we've stuck with since we're going with it, that we use as a discipline all through. We're here to inform, educate, and inspire people to do wonderful things in out-of-home. And the 4 things we believe that out-of-home does better in combination than any other medium is impact, action, relevance, and creativity. If the cake gets bigger, everybody's slice does. It may not, but if it doesn't, you need to go and see your sales director, right? If I have the one single biggest observation to make, it's this. We all have a wonderful opportunity to grow this in the next 2 or 3 years, beyond, probably anyone's imagination.
I'm really going to talk to you about the coevolution of cities, technology, and human behavior, as all of that's evolving and all of that's changing. And as we begin this movement, as many cities around the world begin this movement to become smarter, more connected, more efficient, better places to live. And really, we think that this really creates a valuable and very attractive opportunity for out-of-home vendors, in that we can become a vital and integral part of that evolution that cities are making. And also brands. This isn't just about advertising. This isn't just about brands participating. We believe that fully that brands really are facilitating much of this evolution that's happening. So this is a movement beyond just digitizing screens and offering additional ability to advertisers. This is about creating a context through which out-of-home as an industry can play a relevant and frankly remarkable role in people's lives. Cities are already filled with sensors. Our challenge is winning the public trust, I think, to be able to use that data responsibly for efforts that improve life.
So what is it? Well, you can probably guess. It's a content management system, just like you would content manage a website. My background, again, digital agencies and creative agencies, we kind of looked at this from the outside in, kind of from the perspective of a creative agency or a production company. And basically, we're trying to create something here that's for the whole industry, or wherever you might fit into it. And of course, we've done it as nice, fully web-based. It works on your phone, it works on your tablet. And you don't really need any technical experience to use this. The vision for this is that we will open this up so that anybody can log into this, any brand can log into this and manage their content. At the moment, we're on rollout, sort of like a rollout phase. So we're doing it as a managed service where we'll use this platform to manage the content for a brand. Over time, we want to roll this out. We want to create software developer kits for programmers to create the HTML files and upload them. But that's all under the hood at the moment. What we're doing at the moment is doing this as a managed service. So hopefully using this, providing something like this, and trying to take the same kinds of models of Facebook and Google, where we're trying to make everything easy for people to do, we might hopefully get to dynamic by default.
So you all know and have heard the importance of digital out-of-home and the growth and development in the out-of-home advertising industry. Undoubtedly, digital has improved the quality of that medium. It's our view that we need to focus on what counts for clients to continue the growth of the medium. Ensuring current clients continue to spend and also attracting new brands into digital, and not just by offering media firsts. But really what we want to be able to do is look at the context, so the time, the environment, the geography, but also the audience. So again, pinpointing who is looking at that. Audiences are defined by what they like. I like wine. Things they do. I like drinking wine. And opinions they have. I like good wine, not bad wine.
We're all pretty accustomed to seeing charts like this. This is just a broad stroke brush about the growth of digital out-of-home. And by all accounts, it's growing. And we're all happy about that. And what we're even more excited about is that over time, it's going to go like that. The value is just going to hockey stick up, and we're all going to become rich, and we picked the right horse. Right? Absolutely. But that's not actually the way it's going to happen. We believe, and this is serious, that there's a significant market event in the not too distant future that's going to change a lot of this. And actually, it's going to cause a split. And that some digital out-of-home networks are going to tank. And some digital out-of-home networks are still going to follow on that path that goes up. And what will that significant market event be? We believe it's going to be true measurement. Really scientific, true measurement. Science. That's going to cause that split. And what do we mean by that? Once measurement becomes prevalent and real, we're going to learn how few people actually watch our screens. If you have a great audience and you lose an advertiser, you'll get another advertiser. That's not going to be a problem if you have a great audience. But if you have lots of advertisers and you lose an audience, you're not going to have either. You got to develop that audience. It's a key piece of it all.
So I've got to thank you all for coming. I know that taking a day out of your busy schedules, even in London in such a lovely location with pretty good food and great company is sometimes difficult. So thank you all for coming and staying throughout the day. I'd like to thank our speakers, apart from Sarah, who had to rush off to meet Prince Charles. Don't get that one. All our speakers are still here, so they'll be asking questions. But they've all put a lot of work in, and we must be getting better at briefing the speakers, and we must be choosing better speakers, and the speakers must be getting better, because we had all the presentations well in time. I think you would agree that all the speakers today were excellent. I don't know about the two guys with the hat and the other bald guy in the middle, but everybody else was brilliant, I thought. So I've got to thank our sponsors as well, IUDA and Broadsign and Denton's and Pristine Screen. Without them, we wouldn't have an event because it's expensive to put on. There's rucksacks outside, sponsored by Pristine Screen, and they really do have some fantastic goodies in. Little things that your children might like, or your teenage children might like if you don't like them. USB chargers, also been, so please take them. Got books, newspapers, software reports, the whole things. And cocktails are sponsored by Peter J. Solomon, an investment bank we work with in the US. Mark Boydman's out there. He wants to meet you, and he's going to buy you a drink. So let's go.